Assalamu alaikum everybody, welcome to my channel. It's definitely been a hot minute since I've put out any sort of content. It's literally been for like a myriad of reasons. I think firstly I was in the middle of exams when I really wanted to do content and I just couldn't kind of balance sort of studying and creating content. I just felt like this needed to take a bit of a backseat for a little bit. And then if you notice, the background is slightly different from my usual videos. You'll notice that we've moved. So that's been exciting. I always say that change is something that can be disruptive, but ultimately it depends on how you look at it and the psychology with which you approach sort of any sort of change that might or might not happen in your life. I think change is good, in my opinion. And then I've also had some challenges with this particular platform. I don't know. Somebody was telling me when I was explaining the challenges that I had that I'm probably being like shadow banned or something of the sort, and that eventually it would lift. And so that's also kind of been weighing on my mind, and it really is made me kind of hesitant about putting out any sort of content. So that's kind of what's been happening. If you're new here, please remember to like and subscribe. So just maybe a little bit of intro about me. I'm Niqabi Faz, and I have actually been making videos about wearing niqab and the challenges that come with it, and kind of also then segued into like productivity and what it means to be a productive Muslim. That's something that I'm very passionate about, because I definitely see myself as somebody that believes that there is so much we can learn from this era of productivity hacks, where if you literally were to type in productivity or any sort of term related to that into YouTube specifically, you'll find a myriad of content really that can help you, whether it is tactics on how to be more productive, or whether it is about the psychological element. And so that's something that I'm very passionate about, but I think we have a bit of a lacking element when it comes to the Muslim community, because I think there's a bit of a fear to try to understand if things are congruent sort of with the Islamic tradition. And so I just want to kind of talk about that and talk about how do we take the Islamic psychology that we come with, our worldview, and then how do we look at some of these strategies that are out there and kind of find a way to help us be more productive Muslims in sort of the modern era. And so that's something I'm very passionate about. I've made, I think, 1 or 2 videos on it, and I had this whole series planned. And again, then I had exams and we moved, and this shadow ban vibe thing that's happening. And so I just never really got to it. But yes, that is in the pipeline. So if you're new here and that is something that you think might interest you, please click the like button and subscribe. I was just confused for a second. Yeah, so remember to subscribe and also share the content if you think it might be interesting. So yeah, so I've definitely made a lot of content on the niqab, because that was obviously something that I personally was transitioning into. It's almost 3 years now that I've been wearing niqab, and obviously it comes with its own challenges. And so I wanted to talk sort of through that with other Muslims that might be thinking about going into niqab, or they might have sort of, might be facing sort of challenges related to it. And especially if you live in a non-Muslim country, I think that sometimes is such an important thing to talk about, because yeah, it comes, as I say, it comes with its own challenges. I know for me, over the last maybe 3-4 years, I've been kind of doing my own entrepreneurial, own business type of thing. And so when I went back into the job market, I first had to get in my own psychology over the fact that I thought people thought things about niqabis And so that was like the first challenge that I had to sort of overcome. The second one was that there actually were people that had perceptions, and so I needed to be ready to meet that and to kind of be ready to explain and I don't know, give people a sense of comfort that you're still the same person with the same qualifications. So that was definitely also something that I probably will make a series on, just kind of talking about my own journey as a niqabi, getting back into kind of the workforce and the challenges that came with that. Um, Both in the Muslim community and outside. And the strangest thing that actually that I found, and this is off the cuff comment, and so obviously I have to think about it more deeply, and hopefully when I do the series, I'll do it like hopefully do it more justice. But I've definitely found that within the Muslim community, that sometimes the judgment is a bit harsher than, or the stereotype or whatever is a bit harsher than it is outside of the Muslim community. And I think it could be construed as one of two things. As one, generally people outside the Muslim community, they don't want to be politically incorrect. So they try and be as accommodating and as understanding and as, trying to learn and kind of educate themselves. Because especially obviously if they're interested in a multicultural and a multipolar world. But then on the flip side, I found that if in the Muslim community people had a particular perception, that perception really just kind of permeated, and you could kind of feel it. And so that was a very interesting insight that I definitely did not anticipate. Yeah, so anyway, I'll definitely chat about that. And then also, as I said, the productivity series. So yeah, this was just a check-in to say I'm back and that inshallah I have some great plans of what I wanted to do just with content. And yeah, also I think one of the things I'm going to be doing inshallah is to talk about some of my studies and really to share some insights and some lessons. I am, pursuing Islamic studies, and so yeah, so it's definitely something that I am excited about. And yeah, as I say, there's always things to share, and I'm excited to share what I'm learning. Not saying that I'm an expert, but I just sometimes, you come across like little gems, and you're just like, oh, I really feel like need to share this, and so inshallah I'll be doing that as well. So anyway, this was just a check-in to say Assalamu alaikum, my friends, and inshallah I will be back and we'll be chatting soon.